So yesterday I did a video on Captain Marvel and all the amazing powers that she has. And then at the end of the video I asked you all if you thought that these powers that Captain Marvel has are enough to defeat Thanos. Now, obviously right now Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet. And obviously with the Infinity Gauntlet comes basically unlimited power. A lot of you gave your input, which I really enjoyed reading, and I really appreciate you being involved. And you made some good cases for Captain Marvel, for Thanos, for Captain Marvel beating Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet. But it seems like the majority rules, and that Captain Marvel really doesn't stand a chance, or anyone doesn't really stand a chance against Thanos if he has the Infinity Gauntlet with all of the stones. So after reading all of your comments, I went back and I read the Infinity Gauntlet series for like the millionth time. And it really does give a perfect example of just how strong the Infinity Gauntlet is. Not only that, but just how strong Thanos himself is without the Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, at one point he literally just backhands, slaps Captain America and kills him. That's not the Infinity Gauntlet. That's Thanos. That's Thanos' power. So combine that with the Infinity Gauntlet and all of the Infinity Stones, there's really no chance for anybody. I know a lot of people don't read the comics, so I'm just gonna kind of go over the Infinity Gauntlet series where Thanos uses his power and uses the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. So we start off with Adam Warlock getting together a ton of superheroes to fight Thanos, and Doctor Strange sends them all to Thanos' base camp that's like a little palace floating in space, and he sends them all to fight him. So, Thor, Iron Man, Firelord, and Namor are the first to attack. Namor charges at him, Thor just throws his hammer at him, Firelord shoots fire at him, and Iron Man shoots an energy beam at him. And Thanos, with the snap of his fingers, stops time. So not only are their attacks frozen, but they're frozen also. So Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet can basically predict everything that's going to happen before it happens. But in order to impress Lady Death, Thanos is convinced that maybe knowing everything that's going to happen wouldn't really impress her, since it's kind of like cheating. So what he does is he cuts himself off from this power. So then he snaps again and time resumes, and a few of the heroes manage to take him by surprise, but unfortunately it doesn't really do anything to him. And this is where he just starts killing everybody. Thanos simply touches She-Hulk and Namor with the Infinity Gauntlet and kills them with a space fungi. For a brief moment everybody thinks Wolverine kills Thanos by shoving his claws right through his chest, but Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet and uses it to not only recover himself but turn Wolverine's bones into rubber. He kills the Scarlet Witch with laser beams that he can shoot from his eyes. That's without the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. And then after her, he puts a clear block of force around Cyclops' head, causing him to suffocate, and that's how he dies. Quickly after that, he rips the insides out of Vision, much like he did in Infinity War, honestly, and that's how he dies. Then Cloak manages to capture Thanos inside his cloak, but unfortunately the Infinity Gauntlet is just too powerful and causes him to explode. And then Thanos' woman, Taraxia, rips the head off of Iron Man, and she is definitely not as strong as Thanos, physically speaking, so we know if she can rip his head off, Thanos could rip his head off too. But she doesn't stop there, she actually beats Spider-Man to death with a rock. And while she finishes off Spidey, Thor comes and Thanos turns him to glass. Right before Thanos is about to break the glass door, Nova attacks Thanos. Nova then suffers an interesting death because Thanos uses the power of the Infinity Gauntlet to turn him into Legos. And to add insult to injury, Thanos then steps on the Legos. And then Thanos delivers the final blow by breaking the glass door, effectively killing him. And then what's kind of interesting is Quasar shows up, and he kind of has the mantle of Captain Marvel at this time. He has many similar powers, and he also has the quantum bands, but is still no match for Thanos. Thanos doesn't even use the Infinity Gauntlet on him, he simply uses his laser beam eyes again, and Quasar's done. And last to go is good old Captain America, and like I said, Thanos doesn't even use the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, he simply backhands him and kills him. This is all pretty impressive considering he kills most of the mightiest heroes, but if you ask me, he wasn't really trying, and I don't think he was really trying in Infinity War either. I mean, he may have tried a little bit throughout. Doctor Strange definitely put up a good fight, but as we saw, when he wanted things to end, he ended them. Iron Man wailed on him and barely made him bleed. And when Thanos decided that he had enough with Iron Man, he ended it. And although I do realize that the MCU is definitely different than the comics, it seems like we still really haven't seen the power of the Infinity Gauntlet in the MCU. So going back to the Infinity Gauntlet series, it's super impressive that Thanos defeated all these mighty heroes. But I mean, they barely put up a fight. What's really impressive is when, after all these heroes are defeated, the cosmic entities show up. Not only are the cosmic entities here, the astral deities, but 2 celestials are with them as well. And once they all show up, they just go at it. They just start to battle. And the battle is so intense and magnifying and powerful that the Watcher of the Universe is just sitting there watching in horror. As you can see here, the Watcher expresses his horror by saying, "The powers unleashed in the initial clash are beyond the power of words to describe. Many of the edicts of nature fall victim to the assault. I sense near collapse along the entire spectrum of reality. Fear grows within my heart, the fear that I am witnessing the end of the universe." So you have these cosmic beings who basically make up parts of the universe fighting with somebody who has control over the universe. So it's just chaos. The fight between Thanos and these cosmic beings is just basically destroying the universe. Solar systems are being destroyed. Billions of people who live inside these solar systems on these planets are dying, all because just the power of the cosmic beings and the power of the Infinity Gauntlet is just so much. It truly is a battle for the galaxy. And that is perfectly demonstrated when the 2 Celestials that are there fight Thanos. The 2 Celestials, basically, they just take a ton of planets that are in the surrounding solar systems, line them up, and just start chucking them all at Thanos. And it's crazy because some of these planets have life on them, and it even says in there, the fact that some of these worlds are inhabited by sentient life cannot be a consideration in this galaxy-spanning contest. But even this attack by the Celestials is no match for the Infinity Gauntlet. And it says, with the speed of thought, their menacing potential is neutralized by power without limit. Speaking of the Infinity Gauntlet. And then Kronos, who controls time, comes and tries to bury him within different layers of time. But it doesn't matter because Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet, and one of the Infinity Stones is the Time Stone. So Thanos actually controls time. So not even Kronos is enough to stop him. And then you have the big guys that come in. Galactus and the Stranger attack. And it says the sheer intensity of Galactus, the Stranger, and Eon's blitzkrieg catches the Mad Titan off balance. Yet, it is but a minor setback for Thanos, one that can be overcome with a mere wish. Basically, anything that Thanos thinks becomes reality with the Infinity Gauntlet. He then wraps up by defeating Mistress Love and Sire Hate. So Thanos battles and defeats and captures all of these cosmic entities, all of which could easily destroy the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, any of the superheroes. All of these cosmic beings could just simply squash them. And Thanos has defeated them all. But if that wasn't enough, at the end of it all, Eternity shows up. Eternity is the actual embodiment of all there is. Eternity is the collective consciousness of all the living things in the universe. He is every living thing, and every living thing is in him. So he basically controls everything that is in existence. But even Eternity knows just how strong the Infinity Gauntlet is. He even says right before they go into battle, "Then let us see which almighty being truly has the tight grip on the fabric of what is." So this is a fight for the control of the reality that they're in and for the universe. So they start fighting, and it's just this huge blast of energy. That's all anybody who's watching sees. And at the end, no one knows who's winning or is going to win. But after all of the energy is dispersed, we see that Thanos has imprisoned Eternity. That is how strong the Infinity Gauntlet is. The Infinity Gauntlet was strong enough to defeat multiple cosmic beings, 2 Celestials, and Eternity itself. And again, I'm not saying that they're going to give the Infinity Gauntlet all of this power in the MCU, but you can tell just how strong it is. So, in my opinion, in Avengers 4, if they don't do something to get Thanos away from the Infinity Stones, they have no chance. Unless the plot leak rumors are true and they go throughout time in different realities collecting their own Infinity Stones and make their own Infinity Gauntlet, and then we'd have a battle of Infinity Gauntlets, which honestly I think would be awesome and is the way that I think they should take it, but we'll have to wait and see. So there you have it. There is a brief overview of just how strong the Infinity Gauntlet is in the Infinity Gauntlet series. I'll ask sort of the same question. Do you think any of the Avengers or Captain Marvel is strong enough to take on Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and to stay up to date on Avengers 4, Marvel, DC, and all things super. Thank you so much for watching. Woof woof.